Because music's about life. You got a pulse. You got a heartbeat. This is
Sure.
not something that's outside of you. The first thing, if you fall out in the street, they're gonna check your rhythm. Because if your rhythm is not there, you won't be there. So this whole thing of not relating anything with a beat, you should be able to relate to, because it's a heartbeat and a breath beat that's keeping you alive. So this is music is never outside of you. You're only alive because of a beat and a pulse. It's called your heart. When that music stops, then you stop.
You know, I always say it's about the way it makes you feel. It's a conversation. As far as I'm concerned, it's a conversation. Well, you've done your bit, so you've done your the composing, if you like, and laying it down. So you play, you know, it's a record. This is a track. But what happens is the interesting thing is what happens when it hits my ears and what it
Mhm.
means to me and how it's received inside of here. And when you're
Yes.
talking about things being a beat and being a pulse, and this is what I say all the time. This is what I talk about in terms of jazz, in terms of all music of black origin, in actual fact. I say it's coming from the heart and it's coming from the soul. This isn't something that is made up. This isn't something, oh, let me sound like this. This
Right.
is an actualization. This is an actualization of what is going on in. I mean, I'm too low on my screen. What is going on inside, deep down here in the belly, in the pit of your belly, coming all the way up, and
Yes.
then coming out. It starts here, it goes down, it comes up. It's from here. You know, I'm talking to you about it now, and my tummy is tightening. The way that my tummy tightens when we talk about racism, it's the same thing that we as black people, it is something
Man,
that
this music
it's
has made me
physical.
cry.
It's physical.
This music has made me break down. And you
Yeah,
don't, you can't explain it. You
yeah.
don't know why. You talk about a Holy Ghost, that feel they talk about in the church almost. This music will overtake you. It has a power like that. And those of us who experience it know it, and it never lets go, you know. And it keeps on, it's a gift that keeps on giving. It'll lift you up, you know what I'm saying? And that's what they are afraid of, something like that. You know, you never saw a riot, all these killings and stomping at a jazz concert. They have these rock and all these different gatherings and stuff like that. And especially with hip hop. I mean, it's a pipeline to the prison, man. And then they sampled a lot of jazz. See?
Why do you say it's a
Yeah, they
pipeline? Why
sampled a
why do you
lot of
say
that music, you
why
know.
do you say hip hop is a pipeline to prison?
Because if you follow that gangster culture, that's where you're going. You either going to jail or you going to the penitentiary. You see what I'm saying? If you follow what those guys were drug dealers. If you just saw the 50th anniversary of hip hop, they sat around the table, the hip hoppers, and they talked about that, how they are eating. But what they left out of that narrative, a lot of them sold drugs in the community. That was their initial financing arrangement to pay for the masters they made and the music they created in the studio time and the marketing thrust. I couldn't do that. I couldn't say, "Hey, mommy, I'm gonna sell a kilo of cocaine and then I'm gonna start a family
Well,
business."
you're saying this and you're talking about this like this is you're talking about this like this is common knowledge, and I mean I am actually shocked, and
No,
perhaps
they,
it's
they
my
talked about it.
naivety.
They talked about it in the raps. They said they told the story openly. That's what sold it. You know, they had a lot of other people thinking, "Man, I could sell a couple of kilos and get studio." And a lot of people got busted and they died. Very few of them made it through. But those people were they were heroes. They look up to Jay-Z and DM. They look up to these guys, man. The kids do, and they're influenced by that. But then, against the backdrop of that, they start making these video games, black ops, where they killing people and blowing people's head off. And they wonder why the kids are walking around in real life doing this now. They grew up on that. They grew up playing with that when they were 10 and 11, right in your living room. Black ops, go look at them games up in the room now. And you see why they killing out there. Like it's a big mystery. It's just a mystery because you're not paying attention. You let them play with death. And now they out in the streets killing. And everybody's, up in arms about it. They've been rehearsing this for the last 12, 13 years right in your house while you were making breakfast.
It is so scary. I'm not gonna go down the line of
Hmm.
exploring um gangster rap and that kind of
Right.
stuff because I think that's a conversation for us for another day. But
Yes.
one thing though that you did say, you know, sorry, forgive me, but the one thing that I think is important, there is good jazzy hip hop being made. Would you
Yes,
not say? I mean, like your Robert Glaspers, people like that. Would you not say?
yes,
You know, I mean,
yes. But it's always like they say, it's that some of that is it's been under promoted too. You know, the big mega hits, big pimping, and all that kind of stuff. Those big hits. Um, a lot of the positive rap didn't reach that kind of level of success, unfortunately. You know,
it was
they didn't
interesting, you
push
know.
it. They didn't really push it. You know, they marketed that because that you know, that served a purpose, man. They're trying to fill these prisons. That's a money making machine. It's a multi-billion-dollar money making machine. Prisons are, you
Oh
know.
God, I
And I
know.
was just talking about the reason I brought in hip hop to a jazz conversation is talking about the use of music, how they leveraged our culture kind of against us, a culture that used to uplift us and make us better people. The people went to the theater, they dressed up, you know, they look good. You know, if you look at how the culture was and how it functioned in our community and what it became, you know, it was a mechanism for uplifting us, and then it became one that started to take people down as they and because they promoted hip hop to the exclusion of everything else.
I see.
So yeah, there was some good jazz and hip hop experiments, though, to your point. And it didn't start like that. It started with, you know, the message. Everybody could don't push me cause close
No,
to
but
the
it didn't
edge.
start there.
Everybody could listen to that. Everybody could sit in the
But
room and listen to that.
Gil Scott Heron was doing it before.
Yeah, that's true
You know,
too.
it didn't start there. The Last Poets were doing it before.
Yes.